Hello everyone, our lesson for this week is all about plot, setting, and characterization. So, what is your favorite story? Have you ever created one in the past? Let's try working on the following pictures. Story A, you have two pictures. First one has a teacher and the other one has three students working on something using a laptop. Story B has again two pictures. The first one is a picture of a mad, fat teacher, bespectacled teacher, and the other picture presents two kids, one boy, one girl, who seem to be running away from the mad teacher. So what story can you form for letter A and letter B? Do you think you have good stories to tell for A and B? Let's find out as we explore week number 5. For week number 5, your learning task number 1 presents 4 pictures. Study the pictures below, then identify the characters, plot, and setting of the story. Do this on your paper. Learning task number 2 is a matching type. Match the items in column A with the items in column B. Write the letters of your answers in your notebook. So this is, again, a practice. It need not be answered on your paper, on a sheet of paper. Learning task number 1 and 2 obviously gives you the chance or the time to recall whatever information you have learned in the past regarding setting, characterization, and plot. Learning task number 3. It says here, have you watched English dubbed movie entitled Train to Busan? If you haven't watched it yet, you may still view it using this link. For this activity, you may also use any movie that you have watched or story that you have read. Then answer the questions that follow. Write your answers on your paper. You can refer to page 15 for the following questions. Number 1. Who are the main characters in the story or of the story? Number 2. What is the setting of the story? Number 3. Using a story map, explain the plot of the story. The plot consists of the following elements: A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Climax, and D. Resolution. And the last question number 4, what social conditions are portrayed in the story? When we say social conditions, class, in relation to setting, we are talking about here the environment, the context, the social context present in the story. It can refer to the immediate physical and social setting in which the characters involved live, or in which uh, the events happen, or a context where the important incidents, okay, scenes develop. So when we say social conditions, it does not only concern the physical environment, it also concerns the lifestyle of the people, the culture of the people, their education, their economic status, everything about the society presented in the story. That is what we call social conditions. So let us deal with the following elements of the story. Characterization is the representation of persons or things in narrative and dramatic works. It is a description of the distinctive nature or features of someone or something. Obviously, characterization gives us character or characters plus their traits, their physical attributes, as well as their mannerisms, their behavior. Okay. From your slide, you will find one of the most famous characters in a fantasy film. You have Harry Potter. So this brief description: Harry is an orphan. He was brought to his nearest relatives, the Dursleys. They don't like him at all. They often spoke about Harry as though he was something very nasty. They treat him like something less human. He has no friends at all. Everybody either bullies him or doesn't want to talk to him because of Dudley. At home, he is bossed around and the Dursleys always ignore his wishes. So this is a very brief description of Harry Potter. Next is the setting. Setting is a literary element that features time and geographic location within a narrative, either fiction or non-fiction. It initiates the main backdrop and mood of the story. So setting gives you the time, the place, the mood, the environment, and even the tone in the story or of the story. So if we are talking about Harry Potter, you have your Hogwarts as the main location of Harry Potter, and of course a brief description of the place. Next is the plot. The plot in a literary work, film, story, or other narrative is the interrelated sequence of events. Obviously, you have here the order of events in the story. When we say elements of a plot, we are referring to exposition or the beginning of the story, the introduction. Conflict, simply referring to the problem in the story, and this can be character versus self, external conflict, character versus character, character versus nature, and character versus society. Number 3 is the climax. So when we say climax, it's the turning point of the story, the peak of the story, the highest, the point of the story where you experience, okay, the most intense feelings and emotions. Number 4 is falling action. Falling action happens, of course, after the climax. So when you say falling action, it's the beginning of the event in the story where everything is gradually put into place. Events between climax and denouement. When we say denouement, it's the uncovering part. It's the revelation part. And the last is resolution or ending of the story, the conclusion or final outcome of the story. So let's try the simple plot of Harry Potter. Harry Potter is an orphan who discovers that he has magic. Problem: Lord Voldemort wants to kill Harry. Climax: Harry, the true master of the Elder Wand, battles with Voldemort. Falling action: Harry returns the Elder Wand to Dumbledore's tomb, keeps the cloak of invisibility, and leaves the resurrection stone, which he drops in the Forbidden Forest. And the ending of the story: Harry goes on to become an Auror, marries Ginny Weasley, and starts a family. As for your reflective journal, on a separate sheet of paper, you can write personal insights about the lesson using the prompts below. You can ask your parent or guardian to comment on your accomplishments outputs for the week and have them sign your journal. That would be all again. Thank you and keep safe.